Greetings, and welcome back to Curiosities Obscura. We're thrilled to have you with us for another exciting exploration. Please, don't forget to like, click the bell icon, and subscribe to stay updated with our latest adventures. Now, without further ado, let's get started. You wake up one morning feeling different. At first, it's a strange sensation, a light tickle in your throat. You cough and out floats a delicate flower petal. Over the next few days, the tickle intensifies, and soon entire blooms spill from your mouth. No fever, no aches, just petals. It seems surreal, like something out of a dream. But this is the reality of Hanahaki disease, one of the internet's most fascinating and creative fictional illnesses. And this is only the beginning. Today, on Curiosities Obscura, we're diving into the world of the weirdest and most unique diseases that have been birthed from online communities, pop culture, and the deep, dark corners of the internet. Each one has its own intriguing origin, where it came from, who started it, and why it captured the collective imagination of so many. Hold tight, because we're about to embark on a journey through some of the most bizarre and unforgettable fictional diseases to ever exist. Number 10. Hanahaki disease. We're kicking off with a fan-fiction sensation, Hanahaki disease. This condition first emerged in the early 2010s within Japanese online fan communities, especially on platforms like Tumblr and Wattpad. The concept wasn't the work of one specific person, but rather evolved within the fandoms themselves. The premise is a tragic yet beautiful one. If you fall in love with someone who doesn't love you back, the emotional pain manifests physically. Flowers begin growing in your lungs and throat. As the flowers bloom, you cough up petals and find yourself unable to breathe. You will eventually die unless your love is returned, or you undergo surgery to remove the blooms. But there's a catch. The surgery also removes your feelings for the person, leaving you emotionally empty. This disease became iconic not just for its darkly poetic nature, but also for its exploration of unrequited love. Its widespread popularity has inspired fan art, short films, and even academic analysis, cementing Hanahaki disease as one of the internet's most enduring and relatable creations. Number 9. Cordyceps brain infection. If you're a gamer, you may recognize this one. Cordyceps brain infection is rooted in The Last of Us, a video game that took the world by storm after its release in 2013. Developed by Naughty Dog and masterminded by Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley, the infection is based on a real-life fungus, Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, which hijacks the brains of ants and turns them into mindless zombies. But the creators wondered, what if it evolved to infect humans? In The Last of Us, the infection begins with flu-like symptoms, but it soon spreads to the brain, turning humans into aggressive, zombie-like creatures known as clickers. The disease's unsettling plausibility, based on a real fungus, gives it a chilling realism that's hard to shake. While the Cordyceps fungus is unlikely to jump to humans, the idea is grounded in science, making this fictional disease even more terrifying. Number 8. Netherton syndrome. Next, we delve into the creepier side of the internet with Netherton syndrome. This fictional disease gained prominence through the online horror storytelling community on Reddit's No Sleep, where writers share chilling tales. The disease is described as causing a person's body to turn into a crystalline structure, as if their flesh were transforming into glass. It starts innocuously enough, with a slight tingling sensation and a shimmering of the skin. But eventually, the body hardens into a cold, sparkling form. And in some versions, the person remains fully conscious, trapped in their crystalline prison. This disturbing concept blends real-life conditions like fibrodysplasia, ossificans progressiva, or FOP, where soft tissues turn to bone, with the eerie imagery of a human statue. Netherton syndrome taps into the fear of losing your humanity, creating a nightmarish vision of beauty gone horribly wrong. Number 7. The Pulse. Stephen King is no stranger to creating horrifying concepts, and The Pulse, from his 2006 novel Cell, is no exception. In Cell, a mysterious signal broadcast through mobile phones turns anyone who hears it into a violent, mindless creature. While King conceived the disease, its deeper themes about our growing reliance on technology began to resonate with fans across the internet. Forums and social media buzzed with discussions on how the pulse symbolized our collective fear of being overtaken by technology. The disease itself isn't physical, it's the mind that's infected. It taps into our fear that technology might one day turn against us. The pulse isn't a virus, it's just a signal, a sound, a haunting metaphor for how technology has the power to control us in ways we might not fully understand. Number 6. Grayscale. For fans of Game of Thrones or George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire, grayscale is a well-known affliction. The disease, which appears in the books and is prominently featured in the TV show, causes the skin to harden, crack, and take on a stony texture. Victims are often exiled to remote colonies, as the disease is highly contagious and mostly incurable. While grayscale is loosely inspired by leprosy and other disfiguring illnesses, it also serves as a symbolic reflection of how society treats those who are different. People with grayscale are cast aside, shunned by others for fear of contagion, which makes the disease not just a physical ailment, but a social one. This layered meaning is what makes grayscale so compelling and frightening. Number 5. The Final Gift. Now, let's dive into one of the most mind-bending fictional diseases on the internet, the final gift. This condition isn't about physical transformation, but mental decay. It begins subtly, with cryptic dreams and the feeling of being watched, but soon it escalates. You start hearing voices calling your name, and your memories become blurred, as if your entire reality is shifting. The kicker? One day, you wake up and find that your body is gone, replaced by an empty vessel. Your consciousness has been supplanted by someone else's. You no longer exist in the way you once did. This terrifying idea plays on existential fears about identity, reality, and death. The final gift isn't about physical decay. It's about losing your sense of self completely, making it one of the most disturbing concepts to emerge from online forums that discuss philosophy, sci-fi, and horror. Number 4. Synthetic Mind Syndrome. In the age of AI, synthetic mind syndrome, or SMS, has become a chilling concept in the world of cyberpunk and futuristic dystopias. The disease gained traction through discussions on Reddit, niche science fiction forums, and even TikTok videos exploring our dependence on technology. SMS begins when a human's mind starts merging with artificial intelligence. The line between human thoughts and AI implants blurs, and victims begin losing their sense of self. They experience cognitive dissonance, unable to distinguish between their own memories and those implanted by the AI. The disease doesn't kill you in the traditional sense. It erases your humanity, turning you into a puppet controlled by technology. The fear of becoming a shell controlled by AI is what gives synthetic mind syndrome its haunting appeal. Number 3. Cybercism. a terrifying combination of internet culture and apocalyptic fiction. Cybercism is a viral digital plague. It began as a concept shared through Reddit's No Sleep community and exploded across YouTube and Twitter. The disease starts with users encountering digital glitches or corrupted files. But over time, the glitches manifest in reality. People begin to experience body glitches. Limbs twitch uncontrollably, faces contort unnaturally. It's as if the body is being hijacked by a malfunctioning system. The disease extends beyond physical transformation and affects the mind, causing people to lose their grip on reality. As their minds and bodies become increasingly entangled with technology, they start to lose their sense of self. The idea of merging the human and digital worlds to the point where it's impossible to tell them apart is what makes cybercism so eerie. Number 2. Faint light syndrome. Faint light syndrome is a cruel, insidious disease born from the darkest corners of the internet, where forgotten myths and cryptic tales thrive. It begins when a person's sense of self fractures, when doubt creeps in, and they begin to question their worth, their impact, and whether anyone truly sees them. That moment of existential crisis is the trigger. At first, it's subtle. Your favorite shirt loses its color. The sky outside looks duller. Shadows stretch longer than they should. But as the disease spreads, the world around you fades. Your skin turns gray, translucent. Your voice grows quieter, barely a whisper. You feel like you're slipping away, and soon you are completely invisible to everyone. Not physically gone, but impossible to perceive. The final stage is a haunting void, complete invisibility. You can think, feel, and experience life, but no one can see you, hear you, or even remember you. You're a ghost, trapped in the world you once knew, fading beyond reach. And once the fading begins, there's no cure. Only the slow, inevitable acceptance that you've been forgotten before you've even had a chance to truly live. Faint light syndrome captures our deepest fear, the terrifying prospect of losing ourselves to oblivion, of fading away without a trace. Lastly, number 1, SCP-610, or the flesh that hates. And here it is, the most infamous fictional disease on the internet, SCP-610. Part of the SCP Foundation, a collaborative online project dedicated to writing about supernatural anomalies, SCP-610 is a grotesque disease that mutates living tissue into writhing, monstrous growths. Victims lose their individual form, becoming part of a horrific, interconnected mass. SCP-610 has become a cornerstone of internet horror, fueled by contributions from countless fans who have expanded its mythology. What makes this disease so unnerving is its utter horror. The idea that your body can become something entirely other, beyond recognition, blending the realms of human and monstrous. The flesh that hates is perhaps the most iconic disease because of how it taps into deep-seated fears of losing control over your body and your identity. As we've seen, the world of fictional diseases is as vast as it is bizarre. Each one carries its own mystery, fear, and fascination, capturing the imagination of countless minds across the internet. Whether they're rooted in reality or pure fantasy, these ailments continue to spark conversation and creativity. And with that, we conclude our exploration into the world of fictional diseases that have shaped our internet culture. From the tragic beauty of Hanahaki disease to the mind-bending horrors of SCP-610, these diseases are more than just symptoms. They're reflections of our deepest fears, dreams, and existential struggles. Join us in our next venture on Curiosities Obscura, quenching your thirst for curiosity as we continue to showcase the curiosities, oddities, and mysteries that shape our world. Until then, may your curiosity illuminate your path.